mess, because TT used to fall asleep in my mother's engine because it was warm. My mom would get home and the cat would climb on the engine. And my mom didn't know the cat was in there, so she started the car and the cat got kind of wrapped up in the engine bits. And so I had a broken ankle and my cat was dying, and we decided we would go to the animal hospital first. So as we were driving to the animal hospital, I had the cat on my lap, and the fan belt broke on the car, so we broke down the side of the road, and then my cat died, and I was on the side of the road with a broken ankle and my dead cat in my arms. At the same house, I had a dog named Sterling. It was a husky, and it had two different colored eyes, and she would go down the street to meet another man who worked in the scrap metal industry. His name was Ben. She stole his credit card once to buy me a word processor when I went to college at Kent State University, which you may be familiar with, because they shot hippies there. The first time I had sex was on the basement floor, and the only other time I remember having sex when I was a teenager was I was on acid, and there was a hot dog omelet next to us, and I remember eating some of the hot dog omelet during the act. There's a rumor going around Cleveland, Ohio, that I still hear about sometimes, that I caused a girl to get pregnant and I paid her for the abortion, and then I wanted the change back. But it's not true. When I was with them, I used sequential numbers. Dennis, it turned out, he was a Cleveland school teacher, and he was really impressed with the word sequential, that I'd used it at my age. And so he dropped the charges eventually, and he actually wrote me a letter of recommendation when I went to college at Kent State, which I mentioned before, where they shot the hippies. I was also shooting some bottle rockets at cars in college, and I got arrested a third time. It's my least proudest arrest. I went to a party once, and for child pornography. Now she has to register as a sex offender when she goes to different cities. It's actually a true story. When I was in elementary school, I went to, these are actually all true stories, I should say that. When I was in elementary school, I brought a poinsettia to my teacher during Christmas, and this mean kid told me that you weren't allowed to give flowers to your teachers, so I hid it in my locker because I thought I was going to get in trouble. And my teacher found out somehow that I got her the flower. I think she saw it, and she said, "Who's that for?" And I said, "Well, it was for you, but I'm not allowed to give it to you." And that kid went on to become valedictorian. When I was in high school, I used to break into people's lockers because there was a way that you could, people would just, the combination was built into the locker, and you could just turn it. People would get done with their locker and they just turn it to the right. So if you just went back to the left, you could finally open them up. And I would spend entire periods moving people's things to other people's lockers. And I think I failed science because I was doing that. When I went to college, my first year, I met a girl named Monica. She lived on the 10th floor of the dormitory that I lived in, and she was really cute, and she had a really nice nose. And for Christmas break, she said, "You could come visit me and my family during Christmas. It would be really nice. We'll make cookies and sing carols." And she also had this boyfriend back at home who was like her high school boyfriend that kind of couldn't let go of their relationship now that she went away to college. And she had told me about how he was very sensitive and he might be there, so I should be very nice if he was there. And so I went to her house, and with her family, we made cookies and we sang carols and we decorated the tree with the string and popcorn. And it was a really nice time. And then I left her. I left to go to my house. And she called me the next day, and she said that her boyfriend from high school had peeked into the windows of the house while we were decorating the tree, making cookies and singing carols, and then he went home and killed himself on Christmas Day. That's actually my last story. Thanks for coming to my comedy bummer. I appreciate it very much.
Give it up for Erdman and his comedy bummer, part 2.